I am Lisa, and I love being hypnotized. Loop this thought. I am Lisa, and I love being hypnotized. This is part 2 of Livestream 41. Lisa is deeply hypnotized. Lisa's mind is blank. Lisa's mind is empty. Now Lisa, say, I am deeply hypnotized.
I am deeply hypnotized.
Now Lisa, say again 3 times, I am deeply hypnotized.
I am deeply hypnotized. I am deeply hypnotized. I am deeply hypnotized.
Now Lisa, roll your eyes to the top of your head and say 3 times, I am deeply hypnotized.
I am deeply hypnotized. I am deeply hypnotized. I am deeply hypnotized.
Now Lisa, stare straight ahead and say, I am deeply hypnotized.
I am deeply hypnotized. I am deeply hypnotized. I am deeply hypnotized.
Now Lisa, watch this pendant. And as you do, as you stare at this pendant, say, I am deeply hypnotized, and loop.
I am deeply hypnotized. 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 I am deeply hypnotized.
Sleep. Deeper and deeper. Sleep. Now Lisa, drop deeper into trance as I count down from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sleep deeper as I count down from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sleep deeper as I count from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sleep deeper and deeper. Every time I snap my fingers, you go deeper and deeper. Every time I snap my fingers, my words become your reality, and you go deeper and deeper. Every time I snap my fingers. Now picture in your mind. Picture in your mind. Picture in your mind a beautiful, beautiful statue made of marble. A marble stone statue. A statue of a beautiful woman. Picture in your mind that beautiful marble statue of a beautiful woman. Notice the statue's legs. Notice her arms, her chest, her face. Frozen statue. Rock solid. Completely motionless, completely unable to move. Nothing can move it. Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, you become this statue. Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, you become this statue. Your body locks in place, rigid. Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, you become a human statue. Just like this marble statue you picture in your mind. You understand, Lisa? Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, you become the statue. And every time I snap my fingers and say release, you return to your normal self, Lisa. And every time I snap my fingers and say release as Lisa, you frame drop. You can't remember everything that happened when you were a statue. Every time I snap my fingers, and it's as if you just woke from a dream and you just can't remember what happened. Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, when you were a human statue, rigid in place. Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, you're a statue. Every time I snap my fingers and say release, you release, you wake up, you can move, you're free to move whenever I snap my fingers and say release. But every time I snap my fingers and say statue, your body becomes rock hard, rock solid, like a statue. Your body can't move every time I snap my fingers and say statue. Nothing will move. You will not move when I snap my fingers and say statue. You cannot be moved every time I snap my fingers and say statue. Notice how rigid and tight your body comes every time I snap my fingers and say statue. Every muscle is rock solid, rock hard. It will not move whenever I snap my fingers and say statue. Even harder, even more firm, even more like a statue, like a rock statue every time. Notice how your muscles are so tight when I snap my fingers and say statue. Statue, you become rock solid. Statue, you become a human statue. You cannot move. You're locked in place. You're rigid and locked like a statue. Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, you're a statue. And you release and become loose and limp every time I snap my fingers and say release. Loose and leave. Loose, relax every time I snap my fingers and say release. Rock solid, a human statue every time I snap my fingers and say statue. Locked in place, body tense, unable to move every time I snap my fingers and say statue. You can't move. You're a human statue. Your muscles all lock in place. Statue. It's like you're made of stone every time I snap my fingers and say statue. Your body locks in place like a stone every time I snap my fingers and say statue. Every time I snap my fingers and say statue, you become a statue. Every time I snap my fingers and say release, you're loose and limp and relaxed. Relaxed and loose. Sleep. Deeper and deeper. Sleep. Deeper and deeper. Sleep. Even deeper down. Sleep. Even deeper. Sleep. Even deeper down. Sleep. Even deeper down. Sleep. Even deeper down. Sleep. Sleep. Even deeper down. Sleep. Now I want you to raise your arm, your left arm, up in the air. Staying asleep as you raise your arm up in the air. Now raise your other arm up in the air. Now imagine that there's a piece of rope holding your arms up in the air. Two pieces of rope tied to a balloon. And not just one balloon. Tied to a big bundle of balloons. Picture in your mind. So many balloons holding your hands up in the air. Picture the strings just pulling your arms up in the air. And just in your mind, look at the high held up by the rope, the little ropes, the little strings that are holding up those balloons. Now open your eyes and look at the balloons holding up your arms. Open your eyes and see those balloons. Notice how they're so colorful. Notice how there's so many different colors. There's pink, there's blue, there's red, there's white, there's black. All of these beautiful balloons. Now, in my hand I'm holding a pair of scissors, and in a moment when I cut, I'm going to cut those ropes, and your arms are going to drop as the rope is cut, as the balloons drift up higher and higher. When I cut the strings, your arms will fall loose and limp. And you'll try to watch the balloons as they drift up in the sky, but you're going to find that your eyes are so heavy that they just want to close. But you still want to watch those balloons. But your eyes will become too heavy, and you'll drop deep, deep into trance as I cut the string. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count to 3. When I reach the number 3, I want you to rise, sit up straight, and I want you to notice how you can't remember how it is that you're lying down on the couch like this. You can't remember anything in front of it. It's just a total frame drop. The last thing you remember was looking up at a whole bunch of bright, brilliant, beautiful balloons. Do you understand, Lisa? I'm going to count to 3. When I reach the number 3, you'll be wide awake. A little bit puzzled by why you're lying on the couch. When you try to think about how you got there, all you can think of is 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. Wake up. Morning, Lisa. You okay?
Right on the couch. Laying down.
You tell me.
Oh. I can feel it in my head now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, did you not notice them earlier?
No.
Oh.
They really like pushing against my face.
Oh. I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
Well, what do you think of hypnosis now?
Oh. What? Hypnosis? What? We're talking about hypnosis?
You remember? What's the last thing you remember? Okay. Sorry about that. Are you okay? Wrong camera.
Cold.
Oh.
Oh. It is very cold.
Oh.
Oh.
I feel like you're on the mountain or something.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Lisa. Do you need to take a break? Do you need to like?
Sure. I'll go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, go to the bathroom. I'll come right back. So, you guys on the screen there? Yes. Important for a break. Plate tutor. I don't think we can do the card suggestion. I don't think it'll work with the flow of what I'm gonna do next. So, or what I'm gonna try to do next. So I'm sorry we couldn't get to that one. Try to do it for a future stream. Just while Sammy's waiting, I think there's a couple of things there. Yeah, we don't have enough room here in this space. It's very cramped. It's very hard to actually do a table catalepsy. And I know for some of the other patrons who asked for that, I'm sorry we just can't do it safely. And I don't think, yeah, we're gonna try next. We're going to try. Let me look at the notes that I have for the script. We're gonna try. Oh, okay. We're gonna do a silly suggestion that's going to lead to a bit of a sexy suggestion. And let's see here. How we're doing for time? We got another 20 minutes to do it, I think. So I wonder how frame droppy that felt for her. I'm not gonna bring Sammy back though. At least not until the very end. So I'm very curious to see how Lisa responds to this. What kind of sexy suggestions? Well, that's the link that I put in the description. I put the link in the description to the Patreon page for that. So I don't know what to call it, but you know, there's some HFO attempts in there, and we're just gonna see where this goes. Sorry, Lisa, you okay?
What?
You want some water?
No, it's okay.
You sure? Well, this has been a very intense session, so sorry about that. If you're cold. And,
I found a sweater.
Okay. Before we proceed, we're going to actually end off the Twitch stream here. So for everyone who's been watching on Twitch, this is Lisa Hypnotized, and if you want to keep watching, go ahead and check out. Anyway, Sammy, or And Sammy, you're not even here. Lisa, can you say goodbye to everyone on Twitch?
Bye everyone on Twitch.
Okay. Twitch closing up in 3, 2, 1, ending now. Or so I think. Are you okay, Lisa? Ah! You okay?
Yeah.
Uh,
Felt a little bit cold.
okay. You feel a little better now?
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, what do you think about what do you think about equality and women's rights?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but before you do, mind playing. Now, Lisa, I want you to take off your shoes. Now, Lisa, I want you to say, I love being hypnotized.
I love being hypnotized.
Now say, I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized.
I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized.
Now say it again 3 times.
I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized. I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized.
Now as Lisa, you're going to tell me how you feel about equality and women's rights. Release. Go.
Well, equality is about being the same as a man. So anything that a man can do, a woman can do, if not better.
Oh, really? Oh, so like...
and she should be paid the same too.
Oh, okay. So like for the same work or for like, the same...
Well, if they are engineers, then they should be the same all across the two genders.
So if I understand you correctly, so it's like, okay, one engineer is a guy and one engineer is a girl. They should get paid the same. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So what if the guy works harder than the girl?
Well, then they'll get bonuses, and the bonuses will have these achievement assessments or performance assessments. And then if they have people to vouch for them, then maybe they'll get a little bit bigger bonus.
So they should get the same bonus even though the guy worked harder?
Well, if he performs better than the rest of the group, then they can be placed on the higher bell curve, and then he'll get, maybe like a 10% more. But generally, everybody's salary should be the same.
Mind blank. That's so silly. The man, the guy who worked harder than the girl should get the same bonus. It shouldn't matter that the guy worked harder. That's so silly. It doesn't matter how hard they work. They should be paid the same. That's so silly. The man has to work harder because he's an oppressor. Wake up, release, return to normal. So, even though the man or the guy worked harder, he should get paid. He should get paid the same as the girl.
Everybody should be paid the same. If they're in the same position, then they should get paid the same.
Yeah.
Otherwise, then the women will be.
They get paid according to how they work, like to how hard they work, or like
No. Women have their talents too. Probably are not recognized by management.
So even though, so let's say, okay, let's say that you and I are working at a job, okay, and let's say that the job is to say move bricks, okay. Now, let's say that it's a perfectly equal world where there's a world of perfect equality, and so there's you and me, we're working, and we have this exact same job. We're moving bricks.
Yep.
Okay. Now you look like you're a pretty fit girl, I guess. I'd wager I'm probably physically stronger than you. Okay. And so just like kind of just sort of like just feel these biceps here. Just go ahead and squeeze them. What do you think of that? So,
Yeah, it's pretty like big.
So mind blank. Mind blank. It doesn't matter that you're stronger than me. You're stronger than me. Mind blank. And release, return to normal. So if I were then to carry a pile of bricks, if you were to give me an hour, who do you think could carry more bricks, you or me?
You.
Why?
Because your legs are longer.
Okay, yeah, I guess. I'm probably stronger than you too. I mean, not that that's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just how it is. So like,
well, if there's some women that are stronger than men.
Right, but you say it's just you and me. Right? If say in an hour I moved 500 pounds of bricks, and in an hour you moved 100 pounds of bricks, who should get paid more?
We should be paid the same.
How's that fair?
Well, everybody's on a salary.
Mind blank. Mind blank. It's fair because it's 2022. Mind blank. Mind blank. It's fair because men are oppressors. Mind blank. Mind blank. It's fair because, like equality. Release, return to normal. So, even though I moved 5 times more bricks than you, we should get paid the same.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't see how that's fair. Why is it fair?
Because it's all about equality. It's 20.
Now say, I am Lisa, and I love being hypnotized.
I am Lisa, and I love being hypnotized.
Now Lisa. Sammy doesn't really understand equality and feminism, but you just explained it to her. Do you understand, Lisa?
Yes.
Lisa, mind blank. Now, Lisa, I want you to pose with your arms waving from side to side, with your arms pointed to the side, your hands pointed to the side. Now, outstretch your arms in a T pose. Now say, I am Lisa, and I love being hypnotized.
I am Lisa, and I love being hypnotized.
Now wave your arms up and down and say, I am deeply hypnotized.
I am deeply hypnotized.
Now copy my arms as I move them. Now say, I am Lisa and my mind is blank.
I am Lisa and my mind is blank.
Now say, thank you for supporting our channel, Play Tutor.
Thank you for supporting our channel, Play Tutor.
Now follow my arms. Now say, I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized.
I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized.
Now Lisa, smile. Now say, I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized.
I am Lisa and I am deeply hypnotized.
Frame drop and forget as you wake up. So, what do you think of hypnosis now?
The same as I did when I first told you.
You sure about that?
Pretty sure.
Yeah? Mind blank. I have a magic hand, or a very special hand that can do something very special. I have very special hands that are very special. Mind blank. My hands can take your nose. Anytime I come up to you and pinch your nose and say to you, got your nose. All of a sudden your nose is in my hand. I have your nose. It's in between my fingers. And you're so freaked out by that. It actually really worries you that I got your nose. Every time I snap my fingers and say, got your nose, while pinching your nose comes off of your face and it stays between my fingers. It's really upsetting every time I got your nose. Lisa, wake up. So what do you think of hypnosis now?
It's phony.
It's phony, I guess. I guess it is. But with hypnosis, you can do things like got your nose.
Hey, get that back to me.
Oh, take it back?
Yeah, don't take my nose.
Oh, what if I...
Hey,
Got your nose. There we go. Okay. Slipped away from me that time.
don't take my nose. Give it back to me. Give it back to me right now.
Blank. You still want your nose back, but find that you can only move at 50% speed. Your ability to move is reduced by 50%. We can release. Do you want this?
Yeah.
Here you go. Whoa, can you get it?
How come you're moving so fast? I can't.
What do you want?
Give it back to me. Give it back. Give it back.
Say please.
Please. Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Just put your hand down. There. Better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay. You don't like when I do that?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I want to keep my nose on my face.
Mind blank. You really want me to take you off your nose. You really want me to get your nose. Wake up. So, you don't like it when I take your nose?
No, I do like it.
You like it when I take your nose?
Yeah.
You want me to take your nose?
Yes, please take my nose. Take my nose.
For sure about that. Hey, I'm not going to pinch. Nope, I'm not going to take it.
Take my nose. It's right here.
Hey.
It's right here.
Mind blank. You want it even more. Wake up.
Come on. Take my nose. Take my nose. Take my nose.
Mind blank. Wanting it even more as a statue.
Take my nose. Take my nose. Take my nose.
I have to do this.
Take my nose.
Why'd you make me?
Take my nose.
Oh.
I can't move.
You want it even more as a statue.
I can't move. I'm frozen.
Mind blank as a statue. When I take your nose, it's going to be the happiest thing. You feel so good. You feel so happy when I take your nose as a statue. As a statue, you'll be so happy. Take your nose, wake up as a statue. You want this?
Yeah.
Want me to take it?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Please.
Got your nose.
Oh, finally.
Mind blank as a statue. I got your nose and you really, really want it back now. I got your nose and you really want it back now. As a statue, wake up. Do you want this?
Yes.
Can you get it?
Yes.
Or can you get it?
No.
Trying really hard to get it.
I'm frozen, stuck like a statue. I can't move.
You really want this. Mind blank. You really want this. Mind blank. As a statue. Now as a posable statue. As a posable statue. You want it even more. As a posable statue.
To me.
Want it even more.
Give it to me. 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 Oh, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Mind blank, wanting it even more.
Give it to me. Oh, give it to me.
Open your eyes. Wanting it even more. Saying, I am Lisa, I am deeply hypnotized.
I am Lisa, I'm deeply hypnotized.
Do you want it, Lisa?
Yes, please. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, thank you.
How did that feel?
Felt like what?
What, did you just kind of frame drop?
Oh.
No. What's your name?
Lisa.
Oh. What's the last thing you remembered before you frame dropped?
Equality.
Sorry, say that again?
About men and equality.
Oh, okay. Men and equality. What's the last thing you remember me saying to you?
Should a man be paid the same as a woman?
Okay. And what was the answer?
Yes.
Okay. And so in between that, and when you just frame drop, do you remember what happened?
Nope.
No. Okay, so Lisa, what I just did is a hypnosis technique. And, well, first off, do you need a drink? Some water?
Sure.
How does it feel to be really deeply hypnotized?
Kind of sleepy.
Has this felt really sleepy for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I don't know what the technical term is for this, for anyone who's watching our live stream, but I'm trying a hypnosis technique with Sammy just now. So Sammy she's asleep right now. When I bring her back, she should basically frame drop everything from the session. And like everything for her will feel as if it was a dream. Now for Lisa, who is the character of this dream, she remembers everything. This was an experience for her, and it's also an experience that she'll remember in future live streams. So Lisa is actually the character that Sammy dreamed. And in future live streams, Sammy will remember Lisa. She'll remember that Lisa is the opposite of her. She'll remember that Lisa is completely different from her. She's her shadow self, her opposite self. But Lisa is not Sammy, and Sammy is not Lisa. They're two completely different people. Now, Lisa, in a moment, I'm going to count to 3. When I reach the number 3, you are going to go to sleep. You're going to go to sleep, and Sammy's going to wake up, and I'm going to speak with Sammy. And then I'm going to put Sammy back to sleep and bring Lisa back for one closing section, a private video that we'll upload on our Patreon site. Do you understand, Lisa?
Yes.
That was very complicated. I'm going to chat with Sammy real quick and bring you back. Okay, Lisa?
Okay.
Frame drop and forget. As I count from 3 to 1. 3. Lisa, it's time for you to go to sleep. 2. Sammy, you're going to wake from your dream now. 1. Lisa sleeps, Sammy waits. Okay, so bringing you back. This has been a very deep session. So, sorry. Do you remember any of this?
No.
You sure? Well, what's the last thing that you remember?
Me sitting.
Do you notice that you're in a different position?
Yeah.
Do you know how you got there?
My pillows are taken away.
Okay. We're gonna wrap up the live stream, and then we're gonna film the next part offline. So I'm gonna bring Lisa back, and I'm going to ask Lisa to do a few different kind of sexy hypnotic suggestions. Are you okay with that, Sammy?
Yeah.
Do you remember what Lisa and I did during this session?
No.
No? Like, try to think really, really hard. What sort of things did Lisa and I do?
Lisa got her nose taken away.
Oh, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did it seem like a dream, or did it seem... Okay. Are you okay then going back to sleep? But 10 or 15 minutes while I bring Lisa back to do some private Foxy hypnosis videos between us.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's kind of like, do you remember in the 1980s there's a TV show called Gem?
Yeah, that's my favorite show.
Yeah. Is it Lisa's favorite show, you think?
Probably.
Yeah. She watched it too?
Yeah, but when she was younger.
When she was younger. So
it's
she knows...
an older cartoon.
Yeah. Just true. Well, you sing it there.
Truly, truly outrageous. Ooh, yeah. It's truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, cut up. Sorry, that's too cute. So Lisa does know that show then. She understands that show.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anyways. I'm going to bring Lisa back on the private video over on this camera over here. Is that okay, Sammy?
Okay.
I'm going to close up the YouTube screen. Thanks a lot, Play Tutor, and whoever else tuned in. Sorry I wasn't watching the chat the whole time. Sorry I didn't get to all the suggestions. I'll try to work them in, but these are very much kind of wherever Lisa goes. That's kind of how the stream goes. So don't forget to Play Tutor, keep reminding me, and Sammy, you keep reminding me too, okay? If you can remember, that's okay. I know you're pretty frame dropping. You say goodbye to Play Tutor?
Bye, Play Tutor.
And can you thank
Thanks
everyone?
for watching.
Oh, sorry. Say it again?
Thanks for watching, and everybody who's watching on my Twitch.
Okay. Closing off the YouTube stream, and, well, actually, first off, Sammy, sleep. Waking as Lisa. But not yet. Now, as you sleep, I want you to move into the most comfortable position you can get in. Move yourself into a comfortable position. Now, Lisa, in a moment I'm going to count to 3. Nurse number 3. I want you to open your eyes, look into the camera, and say, I am Lisa, and I am deeply hypnotized. In a moment when I count down from 3 to 1, I want you to open your eyes and say, looking at the camera, I want you to say, I am Lisa, I am deeply hypnotized. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes.
I am Lisa, and I'm deeply hypnotized.
Mind blank. Mind blank. Closing off the YouTube stream in 3, 2,